This is the OPS plus of every hitter who came to the plate at least 400 times during the 2024 season. Wrestling around towards the bottom here is Cubs center fielder Crow-Armstrong, between Otto Lopez and Heimer Candelario. Fast forward to the middle of the 2025 season, and PCA is starting to enter the Ken Griffey Jr. conversation.
It's crazy. When I bust up in this motherfucker, please don't blink. I want everything you own that includes the kitchen sink. From the damage that be shining in even your old mink. I'm impressed by the Bugatti, it make me look rather sporty. I want these advertisement contracts, I want the shoes on your feet, I want the shirt off your back. Matter of fact, where your closet, you can give me all that. This is Compton City Jack, how the hell you like that? I need them Gucci shades, them bottles of Ace of Spades. The models with the bodies that swallow the whole thing. So basically I'm saying I'm wanting the whole shebang. The fortune and the fame, the looks and the gold chains. Why haters trying to stop me? Pictures by paparazzi. Slimsy trying to watch me while my ex talk about me. The media exposure, relationship with centerfolds that end with no closure. Oh, hell yeah, it's over. I got him screaming like,
we've seen this young man turn into a superstar right in front of our eyes, Wayne.
PCA's breakout comes at a unique time because it perfectly overlaps with the explosion of hitting data we've received over the past couple years. Previously, this kind of data was only available behind the vaults of MLB front offices, so this serves as a perfect inflection point in order to see what changes the 23-year-old phenom made in order to achieve this breakout. So in this video, we are going to dive into some of the micro and macro changes that PCA made in order to fuel this breakout season, that may end with him becoming just the 7th player in MLB history to join the 40-40 club. Now before we dive headfirst into the nerdy stuff that will have the Chads clicking away, not that I blame them, let's take a second to appreciate a few components of his game that we can see with our very own eyes. First off, even at his very worst, PCA is still going to be a 3-tool player, and will be one for the next half-decade. On the fielding side, outs above average will tell you that PCA is on pace to have one of the best seasons for a center fielder in the StatCast era. But you don't need the numbers to tell you that. You don't need me to tell you that this catch robbing Bryce Terang of extra bases had just a 5% catch probability. You don't need me to tell you that this running grab that he somehow didn't break his shoulder on also had a 5% catch probability. Or that this catch where he slides like he's on a shuffleboard table had a 20% catch probability. You can see with your very own eyes that this man has a preternatural ability to not only track, but close in on line drives and fly balls coming anywhere near his radar. A lot of people openly question how the Cubs pitching staff is able to get by with older contact-oriented pitchers, and this is how. They have one of the best defenses in the game, and Crow-Armstrong is leading the cavalry. He's also really fast too. You don't need numbers to back this up either, but they're certainly there for your convenience. And now a special word from DM Law. I'm No More Fielders, and I'm here to tell you that if you've been in an accident, you may be entitled to significant financial compensation, and should take action immediately. DM Law wants you to know that Mike's got this. Everybody knows that I'm a numbers guy. So when I saw the results that DM Law achieved for its clients, I knew they were the law firm of choice for the Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, and Colorado areas. Believe you deserve it. The best part is, you only pay if they win your case. When it comes to personal injury, they believe that every right deserves a fight. That's why they make it our mission to help their clients receive the compensation and justice they deserve. Your right, our fight. Many of their attorneys used to defend insurance companies. They know how to get coverage for complicated cases and explore every option available to you. They take the cases that scare off other firms. Mike's got this. So if you are in the Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, or Colorado areas, and you want to see if you can get the compensation you deserve, check out DM Law in the description below. Every right deserves to fight. Now what you all really came here for, the hitting. The one change I want to point out before we throw ourselves into the teeth of the data is a change in the first step. A batter's first step is important. It's the ignition coil that sparks their entire swing. It affects everything from timing to power. Dating back to his time in the minors, PCA has always been making changes to his first step, trying to find that perfect balance. Last year, he started it while the pitcher was in mid-delivery, and it was a much more pronounced step, very similar to Kerry Carpenter the Tiger setup. This allowed him to catch up to the heat, but it didn't give him much room to adjust to off-speed and breaking stuff. This year, you'll notice he does that same move, probably just because it's what he's used to, but he'll replant that foot and his real first step occurs after the pitch is released. You'll notice it is a lot more subtle now, and it's allowed him to adjust better to off-speed. Okay, attack angles and attack directions. What you really need to know about these two measurements is that they are taken when the bat hits the ball. We aren't measuring rates of change, nor are we trying to find the hypotenuse of the hitter's swing using the Pythagorean theorem. Put simply, attack angle measures the vertical angle of the bat when it strikes the ball using the ground as the x-axis. Attack direction measures the horizontal angle of the bat using the length of home plate as the x-axis and the width of home plate as the y-axis. Attack angle correlates with launch angle, and attack direction correlates to hit direction. Congratulations! You now have a fundamental understanding of a concept that you can now explain to your friends while looking like a ball-knowing genius. A ball god even. PCA has been getting a progressively deeper attack angle to improve launch, but the biggest change is in his attack direction. He went from having a completely neutral one in 2024 to a slight pull this year. He achieved this by not only getting more experience through seeing Major League pitching, but also making a noticeable change in where he stands in the box. He went from planting his back foot on the inner edge of the chalk to planting it almost out of the batter's box completely. This lets the ball travel a bit further into PCA's swing, and so now the bat meets it at a more optimal point in time. This change has also led to an increase in bat speed, which has helped supply the power outbreak. Pretty cool stuff if I may say so myself. This attack angle and direction allows PCA to pull the ball in the air at an elite rate. And this is where we get to the key of his breakout. Basically, the goal of almost every hitter nowadays is to pull the ball in the air. Since 2021, hitters are averaging over a double per plate appearance whenever they achieve this. As of recording, Crow-Armstrong is currently 12th in pulled air percentage. Now there is one lingering question surrounding PCA's breakout. Is this sustainable? We've dove so far into the micro that we've missed the forest for the trees. Pulling back, we see that PCA has by far the highest outside swing rate out of any player this year. And while he has some of the better numbers compared to his peers when swinging out of the zone, they're still miles worse than when he's swinging at pitches in the zone. Pitching staffs are taking notice, and we will see an uptick in pitches that he sees out of the zone as the season continues. I intentionally left out the fact that PCA is walking at a lower rate while striking out at a similar rate from last year. This, combined with him being considered lucky when looking at his expected numbers, have led a lot of people to use the R word.
Jack, what's the R word?
This feels like a trap.
Regression. But I have a few counters to this. First off, PCA is a player who should be expected to outperform his expected stats. Expected numbers only measure exit velocities and launch angles. They don't account for the fact that PCA is a speed demon, so he's going to beat out weak grounders with low expected batting averages and be able to steal some hits by means of a bunt. We also can't ignore the fact that he plays in the Windy City. He's going to continue to see pop-ups being guided by the winds of fate. When it comes to his walk and K rates, sure, this is something he is going to need to improve on. But if the last 6 minutes have taught us anything, it's that PCA has the ability to take any part of his game that's lagging and establish a better connection in order to fix it. So after spitting out all these numbers, the one main takeaway I want you to have from watching this video is that PCA wants to be one of the faces of baseball, and he will do whatever it takes to propel his game to the next level. While researching for this video, I found countless interviews, features, and mic'd up segments featuring PCA all the way back to his time in the minors. He wants to be in the spotlight, and he's got the sauce for it.
Pilates makes me feel self-conscious though, because I'm always in there with a bunch of married middle-aged women, and they all put me to shame. I can't move like them.
Pete Wentz, Pete Crow-Armstrong. Pleasure. Pleasure. I hope you enjoy it out here.
Hair's looking good, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. You too.
You run into Ken Griffey Jr. in the dugout. What was that like for you?
I don't know if I made the greatest first impression. I didn't have much to say.
Not a lot of guys do, man.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure I'm not the only one.
That was a good one. Snakes, I don't like snakes, but my answer was the ocean. Like not like surface level ocean, or
deep sea.
Deep sea, you know, like where the mythical creatures hang out.
PCA, give it to me straight, man. When you hit that ball, what did you think? Come on now.
I definitely thought I got it.
Caleb's girlfriend is nature. It is the hikes that he goes on. So I'm not sitting between two Rick Jameses or anything.
He's got the look down, his signature earring, the haircut. I mean, he just carries himself like a superstar. Okay, so I have to interject here because this has been on my mind for years now. Does anybody else get heavy British rapper vibes from PCA? And that isn't meant to be taken as a diss at all. This has 100% been a Glaze piece. But I look at him and I can't help but get the feeling that he should be opening up for Slow Tie. You all probably know this, but his mom is actually musician Sheryl Crow. No, I'm just kidding, but his mom is actress Ashley Crow, who played Billy Haywood's mom in Little Big League and was in Minority Report. He's got the type of personality that Rob Manfred has been praying for ever since Mike Trout became the spokesperson for Super Pretzels.
What would we do without Super Pretzel?
In fact, I can't help but notice the parallel between him and the player he was traded for, Javi Baez, someone with a superstar personality and the tools to back it up. But while Baez became stuck on bad habits, PCA has shown a willingness to work around those bad habits. His success is a testament to making adjustments and never becoming comfortable with being comfortable. Every interview I could find, he has made it a priority to laud the coaching around him for getting him to where he is.
You know, we got a lot of technology here, and they put it to good use. They use it for the right reasons. So we have our labs where we get on the force plates, and you know, they test our movement. It's thorough and it's good, and it helps you be a little bit more aware of how your body works in the box.
He's embraced new age techniques and has been the de facto figure for adoption of new school data-driven coaching. I'm not saying every player needs to embrace these new approaches the same way PCA has. Sometimes you can't fit a square peg into a round hole or vice versa, but his rise might open the door for clubs trying to figure out how to use the nerdy shit to improve their players without making them feel like they're in 11th grade trigonometry. At the beginning of the season, it was reported that PCA turned down a $75 million extension from the Cubs. Many were confused why a young player who had a horrible season at the plate would turn down that kind of contract. But as we've seen, so far he's made the right choice. Pete Crow-Armstrong will challenge Shohei Ohtani for the NL MVP this year if he can keep up this performance. I do expect a slump at some point, and it will be up to him and his coaches to make the adjustments to break out of it. But as we've seen, he's got all the ability in the world to do so. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Also, huge shout out to my new level 2 ball wizards. We have Mateo Silvio Gordano as well as Big Baby. We only have 9 spots left, so if you snooze, you lose.